This video is brought to you by Squarespace. We put this blanket over here so that way she has a cave to go into. Oh, and she goes back in. Good morning, Dio. Good morning, Dio. Say hello to the camera. I like to add a little bit of water in Winnie's food. That way she gets enough water. I saw this on Instagram. It's just like a little hack to get your cat to drink more water. So I add a little bit of water, I mix it up, and then I warm it up. I kind of spoil her with her food because I heat it up for her. And now she'll like only immediately eat her food if it's warmed up. And if it's not warmed up, she'll like look at it for a while and then leave and then come back late and eat it. So Chris says I've kind of spoiled her, but she is the princess. Okay, Winnie, come here. And then she eats her food on the counter because otherwise if we put it on the ground, Theo will try and eat it. So this area is just Winnie's. We don't do any food prep or anything really on this countertop. And then now she has some nice lighting. Wait, let me turn off the other light. Chris says that this is like her candlelit dinner. Okay. So, Chris is gone. He left a couple of days ago to go to Florida for his little brother's high school graduation. So I am here alone with the children. Hi, Theo. Okay, come here. It's been a while, I feel like, since I've talked to you and just shared what's been going on with me, what I've been up to. So that's what we're doing in this video. Lately, I've been making a much better attempt at doing the things that I tell myself I'll do eventually. So for example, I've been exercising more and I am starting to learn Vietnamese. We have a gym in our apartment complex, which makes it so much easier for me to actually like exercise because I don't have that friction of having to go to a gym. I don't know if you know this, but I've always woken up really early. It's never been a productivity thing. It's just I naturally wake up early and that's when I have the most energy. Before, when we lived at the old house or even at the apartment before, I just had so many things to do to keep myself busy. I could take care of plants inside, or at the old house I could go outside into the garden and walk around and clean up or take care of the plants or water. There's just so many things for me to keep myself busy in the morning. So I would say like from 6 to 8 or like 6 to 9, I would just be a busybody and like do random little chores that I have. But now that we live in this apartment, there isn't as much space, I don't have as many plants, and there's no outdoor space. So for the first few months of living at this apartment, I found myself just not knowing what to do with myself in the morning. Because in the mornings, I don't really like to use brain power. I don't want to think about anything. I just want to do random little things and kind of just like enjoy the morning. So then I was like, why don't I just start going to the gym and I can just put on a podcast, and an hour kind of flies by pretty quickly. And then for Vietnamese, I don't speak Vietnamese and none of my brothers and most of my cousins also don't speak Vietnamese. We just weren't taught it growing up. My parents speak it, but they would mostly speak English in the house. So we never picked it up, unfortunately. And every single time I go back to Vietnam, my family always asks like, did you learn Vietnamese yet? And I'm like, no, next year when I come back, I'll be able to speak some Vietnamese. And that's honestly been going on for the past 3 years. So I was like, you know what? I don't want to like disappoint them again next year when I go back. And I've always wanted to learn Vietnamese. I just haven't really taken the steps to properly learn. So at first I looked locally to see if there was a private tutor that I could go to and actually have in-person lessons, but I couldn't find anything, unfortunately. So then I looked for private tutors online and I found this website called Preply. So I have a private tutor for 3 days a week, 50 minutes each lesson, and I've only done 6 lessons or so, and I really like it. Like, I've learned a lot about pronunciation, vowels, tones, because if you don't know, Vietnamese is a tonal language, which I think makes it really difficult for me because I kind of speak monotone. So doing all the different tones is difficult because the tone of how you say a word can completely change its meaning. And Vietnamese also doesn't have any syllables within the words, so you really have to get the pronunciation right for people to be able to understand you. My parents are so happy and I'm excited to go back to Vietnam next year and surprise my family. I don't know how good I'll be at Vietnamese, but anything is better than nothing, so they'll just be really happy. Now I'm gonna go downstairs to the gym. I'm turning 26 soon, and this made me think about not necessarily my goals in life, but who I want to become as a person. And I've had all these things I've wanted to do for years now, like exercise or learn Vietnamese, but I never committed to it. I feel like I was always waiting for the right time, telling myself I was too busy, or maybe I was just waiting for someone to tell me what to do and how to do it. After feeling like this for the past 4 or 5 years, I realized that there's never going to be a right time and no one is going to force me to do anything. If I want to achieve these things for myself, then I need to do the actions that set me up to become the person I want to be. Something else I've been thinking about is how, when you're growing up, people's perception of you, or what you think people's perception of you is, will affect how you view yourself, and you'll internalize these things whether it's subconscious or conscious. If you're a kid and people tell you multiple times that you're bad at math, you'll grow up thinking you're bad at math and not pursue a math-based career. But who knows, maybe with some tutoring you could be a theoretical physicist. I grew up when being Asian was not cool at all, and I was like the only Asian kid in my class, so I was picked on quite a bit. I was skinny, and at the time I didn't know I was gay, but I was gay. So all of these things compounded into me viewing myself as someone who was weak. I've gone past that years ago, and I feel bad for my past self who thought that way. But all that to say is that I viewed myself as someone who, for example, like doesn't go to the gym, so I never went. At the time of recording this voiceover, I've been going for 3 to 4 months consistently, and I went from using 10 to 15 pound dumbbells to now using up to 35 pound dumbbells, which maybe isn't a lot, but it feels great for me seeing that I'm getting stronger. And also, strength training has helped out a lot with my posture, which is something I've wanted to work on for a while. So yeah, I just wanted to say that if there's something you've been wanting to do, but you feel as though you don't fit into that demographic of the community, just go for it. Your perception of yourself may be holding you back. At least I know it did for me. One of my favorite things about going to the gym is that at the end, I walk on the treadmill and I play Teamfight Tactics, TFT, and I just play 2 games while I walk on an incline on the treadmill. And yeah, if I'm not doing something while I'm on the treadmill, I just get so bored. So this is pretty fun. And it feels like an excuse to play video games in the morning. Okay, I feel really sweaty and gross. Also, I lost my game. But that's okay. So I need to shower, and then I have to study for my Vietnamese lesson or my Vietnamese class, because that's in about an hour and a half, and I didn't do the homework. This feels like I'm back in high school where I have to do my homework last minute.
I was like,
this is what I'm studying right now. Pretty much it's about asking where is blank, and then me answering the blank is over here or over there on the or in the, stuff like that. So I have to write questions and answers for the following pictures. And I'm not going to speak Vietnamese for you yet because I'm a little bit embarrassed, I think, about my accent. But once I get a little bit better, then I will speak some Vietnamese for you. I need to finish my homework, and then I have my class with my teacher, Hao.
chào em.
Chào chị.
Hôm nay em có khỏe không?
Hôm nay em khỏe.
Hôm nay em có đi làm không? With a verb in the middle, it makes a yes/no question.
Okay. And then on their own, those words also mean yes.
Em muốn đi, con muốn đi, em muốn đi. Can you say the grocery store again? Next question. Someone will ask you, where are you heading to?
I finished my lesson, and I really love my teacher. I just like that I can see that I'm getting better and I'm learning. I'm gonna see my parents soon, so I'm excited to be able to practice with them a little bit. That's what's really nice about learning Vietnamese for me, is that I have really easy access to native Vietnamese speakers who also won't be judgmental towards me when I try speaking with them. It's pretty fun actually speaking with my parents in Vietnamese, because they kind of just like laugh at everything that I say. Now I need to take Theo out on his walk. Theo, where are you? Oh, he was playing with Winnie. Look, there's Winnie. Hi, Winnie. Theo, go back to Winnie. Oh, I missed it. Yeah, look, Winnie, Theo, I'm trying to get Winnie. Winnie's loving the spot under the chair. Theo, you want to go on a walk? You want to go on a walk? You want to go on a walk? Whenever we put his harness on him, he'll just like freeze up. Watch this. He just won't even move. Like, okay, now we have it on him and he's strapped up. Watch. Okay, Theo, let's go. Why do you freeze there? So I have to pick him up. Okay, let's go. Okay, I'm kind of embarrassed to show you what I'm eating for lunch, but I'm gonna do it anyway. The first thing we have is this protein shake. It's from this brand Huel. It's honestly a very silly name. It stands for human fuel, but this is like one of the only protein shakes that I like. It's vegan too, because I really don't like dairy-based protein shakes. I don't think they taste good, and also I am very lactose intolerant. And also, Huel acts as a meal replacement, so it has all of the macro and micronutrients that you need. So technically, you could just drink Huel. I've had Huel like in my diet for maybe the past 2 or 3 years, on and off. This is the most consistent I've been with it because I'm trying to like hit protein goals. So I've been drinking their Huel protein powder. And then we have 2 tacos from Taco Bell. This is my girl dinner. Well, actually, it's very not girl dinner. This feels very boy dinner, actually. I had Taco Bell last night and there was a deal, so I have 2 extra tacos. And one thing about me is that I am not very picky when it comes to mixing foods, like having one food with another. To some people, maybe most people, having a chocolate fudge brownie protein shake with 2 tacos doesn't sound the most appetizing, but I've never been one to really care about that stuff. Chris, on the other hand, is the complete opposite. Like, this would just make him grossed out. So, good thing he's not here.
Aw, Theo looks so cute. Theo. Pretty.
The other day, I picked up this book, Norwegian Wood by Murakami. I know that this book was really popular for a while, a couple of years ago. I never picked it up, but I recently saw my older brother and he was reading 1Q84, which is another Murakami book, and he was like, you should maybe read this, I think you would like it, and the premise seemed really interesting. So I went to the bookstore and I found the book, and it's 1,000 pages and like this thick. So I decided, you know what, I don't want to read something that long right now, and I've been in the mood for a summery book because as we're entering summer, I kind of want to set the vibe and be able to romanticize the season. I looked up books that feel like summer, and people recommended Norwegian Wood. I've heard some criticisms of Murakami, specifically around the way that he writes women. From what I've heard, he doesn't really treat his women in his books that well, and he doesn't give them that much depth, but I thought I would try it out for myself and see what I think of his writing, and it's not too long. So yeah, this is my current read. I've been reading a lot of fantasy lately. I find myself going in between reading fantasy books and then more slice of life, realistic books. But I do know Murakami integrates some surrealistic aspects into his books, but I don't think this is one of those. With the beaver?
You didn't catch a bird? Yeah. You only have 2 birds? That's it.
Yeah, so
Wait, so
there's like you see like the little black dog?
you game's good.
Oh yeah? Okay. Alright.
Fun.
Oh, I get mini handbag. Thank you.
Good morning. It's pretty early. It's around 5 a.m. I agreed to go to a really early morning hike with my friend and her mom and another friend. and I'm kind of regretting my decision because last night we played Mario Party until like around 11, and then we got ice cream, and then my little brother came over because he's on his way back from San Diego to my parents' house. So then I ended up falling asleep at around 1 a.m. So I've had 4 hours of sleep, which is not ideal, but I agreed to go to this hike, and it'll be really nice once I wake up a little bit. Okay, I need coffee. Hello. No. Well, I just chugged the coffee. See, this is why I brought my water shoes. So excited. Hello, Dio. Hello. Hello, Dio. Hello. I am gonna eat something and then take a shower and then go back to sleep. Good afternoon. I woke up from my pretty long nap right after we got home from the hike. I took a shower, I fed Winnie and Theo, and then I went to bed. So my hair dried in this weird way. Look, it puffs up here. And when this happens to me, Chris says that I look like a cockatoo. The hike was actually the longest hike I've ever been on. We did about 8 miles, 20,000 steps, and it took about 3.5 hours, so I came home and I was just super exhausted. Okay, it's 1 p.m. now, so I'm gonna work on my video because it's Saturday and my video comes out tomorrow. Sometimes I just really procrastinate with doing final touches on editing a video. Like I'll do the rough edit and then I just have a few more little things I need to do to tweak it, just to like make it so I'm happy with it. Every night I brush Theo's teeth. We're using this little round brush and we have some toothpaste on it. And Theo is ready to brush his teeth. Chihuahuas and other small dogs are prone to teeth issues, so you really have to be on top of cleaning their teeth. And he actually kind of likes brushing his teeth too. I think he likes the taste, but he's gotten pretty tolerant of it. See? He looks kind of crazy when I'm doing it, but he's okay. Brushing your teeth. Good job, dear. Wanna lick it? Go. Good morning. It's currently 4:30 a.m. and I'm up very early because I did not finish editing my video yesterday. So I'm finishing editing my video and then I have to clean up because Chris is coming home. And whenever Chris is gone, I'm always a little bit more messy than I usually am. Chris is the one that's super organized, puts everything back where it needs to be. Me, on the other hand, I can make a mess pretty easily. So before he comes back home, I want to clean up and make sure it looks nice for him. Also, I started recording this video later in the week, so Chris was gone for about a week, but I started recording like 4 or 5 days in. The video is exporting and look at Winnie. She wants pets. So there's this thing that Chris says to me all the time that I think is pretty funny. So for example, I have all of my tech stuff here, all my camera stuff on his side of the desk. So he'll be like, why is Best Buy on my desk? Or if I leave my laptop and my AirPods on the bed, he'll be like, why is the Apple Store on my bed? Or if I leave like a screwdriver or a drill or a measuring tape somewhere, he'll be like, why is Home Depot here? It's just kind of funny. the bedding because how nice is it to come home from a flight, shower, and then get in a nice clean bed. Okay, we got the dishwasher running, the laundry machine running, and I pretty much cleaned up the majority of the house. What's nice about living in a smaller space is that it's so easy to clean. Definitely a big perk about not having a big living space. Chris and I are gonna go head out soon to go do some stuff, but I quickly wanted to show you something. So you can see over there, that is the Brachychiton rupestris that we got just a while ago. And it had a really bad case of spider mites, and I didn't repot it. And it's just a new environment, so it's acclimating, and I think all of those factors together just caused it to drop all of its leaves. It's still alive. That is how it's looking right now. If it doesn't really recover, I'm going to give it to one of my friends who has more space and more light, so that way they can grow it properly. But I just got this tree, this Dracaena. This is a type of Dracaena that I've been wanting for a really long time because I saw this one picture on Pinterest. It's a little bit too tall, so I'm gonna cut this off and then propagate it. But yeah, it's beautiful. I love this color. Like, I think it really does fit perfectly there. But yeah, it looks so nice in that spot. And Dracaena are more tolerant of low light compared to the Brachychiton rupestris in my experience. So I think it will do better in this location. But yeah, here is the Brachychiton. But yeah, it's still alive. It just lost all of its leaves. And that's not uncommon for this plant too, especially when you bring it indoors when previously it was in an outdoor environment. Right now, Chris and I were gonna go head to the tailor because I dropped some pants off about a week or two ago because we are going to go to a wedding this weekend. So I needed some pants tailored because all of my pants are always a little bit too long. For a while, I thought I was 5'9" because about 5 years ago, I had a friend who said he was 5'9", and we like compared heights. Recently, I measured myself and I am in fact 5'8". So I've been lying to people for a little while. I am actually 1 inch shorter than I thought. All that to say is that I am a little bit short, so I have to either like roll up most of my pants or hem most of my pants. I've also been buying some clothes recently, mostly secondhand, because I needed to start building my wardrobe back up. So I'm trying to get a lot of like high quality secondhand basics. So I'm mostly shopping on eBay and Mercari, and sometimes Grailed. While we're here, there's also a men's warehouse because Chris doesn't have any like formal clothes, so he's just gonna rent out a suit at the men's warehouse.
I'm excited because I haven't rented like a suit since prom, and I want to get.
Have you been in a suit since prom? Oh, you kind of dressed up for choir in college.
Oh yeah, that was a tuxedo.
Oh. Yeah. But yeah, I'm like super excited for this wedding. It's a friend from high school, and it's my first wedding of a friend. So it's my first friend wedding that I'm going to, and I think it's gonna be so much fun, and I'm gonna see some old friends too from high school. And then I'll also show you guys my outfit once we get back home. And then maybe I'll show you some of my other clothes that I have. I've had a few people ask about like the clothes that I wear, but I do wear very simple and basic clothes, so I feel like it's not that interesting, but I am kind of excited about my new clothes, so maybe I will share it.
It's just like huge. And there's
Pants secured. Oh, almost fell over. Chris, I think you need one of those.
One of what?
The hats.
The hats.
No, I don't think this one.
Not this one?
Yeah, maybe this one.
Yeah, maybe the navy. The navy looks
one?
like. Yeah. So this is the test tuxedo just to get my size. This isn't the color or anything, but.
Oh, look at that shoe.
One shoe.
Now I'm trying on my pants to see how they fit. This is the first one. They used to be too long, and then also the waist was too loose for me. And now they fit perfectly. They used to look like really frumpy on me. I don't know any other way to describe it, but yeah, so she took it in on the sides and then hemmed the bottom. These pants are from Toast. These are actually pants that I had from before the fire. I'm finally happy now I don't need to wear a belt. I used to have to wear a belt and like pull them up really high over my belly button so that way they weren't too long. And these next pants, these are indigo jeans, also from Toast. They were having a sale when we first moved here. And I got them and they're really good quality. Everything from Toast is such good quality, especially their textiles. And then these are pants from a brand called Our Legacy. I got it on Mercari, so very hefty discount. I think I got these for $80 and the quality is really good. Retail, these are very expensive, so I got a really good deal. I got these hemmed. They used to drag all the way underneath my shoe, which I really don't like. I find that if I buy anything from American or European brands, they're generally too long for me, whether it's the sleeves or the legs. But if I purchase clothes from Asian brands, usually the proportions fit me almost perfectly. So I have started to mostly buy from Asian brands now. And then these are the pants that I will be wearing to the wedding. I also just got them hemmed at the bottom. These are also from Our Legacy. Got them on eBay. So this is my outfit. This dress shirt, this kind of like more casual, unstructured blazer jacket. Okay, I think this is as far back as I can go. Here is my outfit. I got this jacket also on eBay, and then I got this shirt also on eBay. So everything is secondhand, even the belt. So Chris isn't gonna get his outfit until the day that we actually leave for the wedding, because he's doing a suit rental. But yeah, right now I'm gonna change out and then I'm gonna shower because this leave-in conditioner I put in is making, I don't know, it just feels gross. Like, I need to get this off of my hair. Okay, I have showered and I'm gonna talk a little bit more about this Dracaena. So I just got these pruners in the mail, so we're gonna prune the top. And I don't remember if I mentioned this or not, but I got this plant on Facebook Marketplace. It's not very common that you see this kind of Dracaena marginata, especially this kind of color, and it being this large. Also, Theo is on the desk because he gets up from the couch. No, mister. Yeah, so I've seen this one on Pinterest, and I also see it sometimes in Japanese homes, and also in some of my magazines that I used to have. So I really wanted one, and I just think that the colors work so well, and it produces colors that are not super vibrant, but still fun. So it's like a pinky reddish color. So, okay, let's cut the top of this off, and then I want to propagate it. Look at Theo right now. He has a beaver. We just opened up a new beaver for him. I have never really had like that much luck propagating Dracaena, especially large ones like this. But what I'm gonna do is leave it out for a while so that way the bottom of it can dry. And then I think I'm gonna try propagating it in water. This is what Winnie does when she wants to play. Her toys inside of the cabinet. She's just meowing at Chris. So today I'm editing a video a little bit, and then I also have my Vietnamese class, and then Chris and I are gonna go out to do a little hike and a picnic. From Vietnamese lessons, I feel like I maybe you should do 2 days a week instead of 3 days a week, because with 3 days a week, sometimes I don't have enough time in between each lesson to actually study and get the most out of my next class. I find that sometimes I have to like cram study in the morning so that way I know enough to be able to proceed to the next lesson. So I think 2 days a week would probably be better for me. I'm super excited to go to the wedding. I think it's gonna be so much fun. I just love weddings. Like when I was a kid, I loved going to weddings too. Before we leave, I would like to thank the sponsor of this video, which is Squarespace. I've used Squarespace for my first and only website, and I mostly use it as a landing page for people to find my social media accounts or to be able to send me emails. I also use it as my... Oh, let's get Winnie in the shot. There we go. I also use Squarespace as my online storefront at times when I occasionally sell products. If you have an interest in creating your own website, perhaps to sell your own products, then Squarespace has the tools to help you do that. You can also use Squarespace as a portfolio to show your work, whether you're a designer or an artist. It can be a way to share what you do with your clients. You can also sell digital products. For example, I have my desktop wallpaper. I think we set it up back in 2022. And ever since I set it up, it's pretty much been hassle-free. The Squarespace payment system is easy to navigate, and you can manage all of your payments in one place. To create your own website, go to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/benjiplant for 10% off your first website or domain. Okay, so we are going to the wedding this weekend, and I'm so excited. Congratulations to Maddie and Brandon. I've known Maddie since like 2015 or so. In the next video, I think I want to talk about trees you can use as houseplants, because I've just been like looking into trees as houseplants recently, because as you can see, so I just wanted to make a list of possible trees that you can use as houseplants. Okay, bye. I'll see you later.